Om Shanti. Namaste to everyone. Let us begin the class. Sit in any comfortable position. Spine straight. Adopt chin mudra. Eyes closed. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for 3 times on, followed by opening mantra. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। Join your both palms together in front of heart center. Bow down your head towards God, towards Mother Nature. Rub your both palms. Apply an edge. Slowly and gently while blinking, open your eyes. Om Shanti. So today's topic is effects of yogic practices on musculoskeletal system. Effects of yogic practices on musculoskeletal system. So our first pose is inverted poses. Inverted poses. What about inverted poses? Let's look. While doing inverted pose, our cervical and dorsal spinal muscle and vertebrae are made stronger. While doing inverted pose, our cervical and dorsal spinal muscle and vertebrae are made stronger. The deltoid and the trapezius become elastic and stronger. The deltoid and the trapezius become elastic and stronger. All parts of the body are developed due to the various movements done while practicing variation in postures like Sirsasana, headstand, and Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. It is very important to keep the skeletal muscle. It is very important to keep the skeletal muscle active when you practice yoga. It not only stabilizes your body, but also enhance the energy flow and improves overall strength and flexibility. The next effect is active and passive stretching. Active and passive stretching. STRETCHING. It is generally well known when we stretch our muscle. It is generally well known when we stretch our muscle and relax it. It is very dangerous. It is very dangerous since it does not offer any additional support and stabilization towards joints that can result in tear or surrounding area. That can result in tearing of muscle and damage our surrounding area. So the rule is when we stretch our muscle, it should be kept active to avoid the injury. The rule is when we stretch our muscle, it should be kept active to avoid injury. To keep the muscle active, you have to apply bandage or lock. To keep the muscle active, you have to apply bandage or lock. These are the special technique by which you can stabilize your pose. These are the special technique by which you can stabilize your pose. Example, you can press your base of the pose. You may press your base of the pose on the floor. By doing this, you activate the group of muscles which eventually become firm and stable, thus avoiding injuries. What is special attention? Special attention is if you stretch a muscle in lengthened state. If you stretch a muscle in lengthened state, will gradually stretch further and relax more, eventually become stronger. So activate the muscle which is stretched in a pose. So activate the muscle which is stretched in a pose. If the muscle is stretched long enough, then the muscle will relax eventually. So try to hold the pose for longer duration. Let's say 15 seconds or more. If you stretch a muscle, then the surrounding of a muscle will also get stretched. If you stretch a muscle, the surrounding of muscle will also get stretched. which will lead to better strength and stability. Which will lead to better strength and stability. Now come to counter poses. It is very important to use counter pose in your class, since they create balance and rest your muscles. It is very important to use counter pose in your class, since they create balance and reset your muscles. Example, forward bend followed by back bend and side bend on both the sides. When you move from one pose to other pose, try to enter and exit, with grace and elegance. Smooth, gentle and control movement. Smooth, gentle and control movement strengthen the body, quiets the mind, and induce relaxation. Creating internal heat within your body gives you more flexibility and helps your body to release toxins. Passive stretching is where you assume and hold a pose with the help and support of body parts. Blocks or any other assistance passive stretching is where you assume and hold a pose with the help and support of body parts, blocks, or any other assistance. It helps in reducing your soreness and tension after post-workout session. Now move towards major muscles of the human body. Major muscles of the human body. The first one is the pectoralis. The pectoralis muscle, that is chest muscle. It is a thick fan-shaped muscle. It is a thick fan-shaped muscle situated at the chest of the human body. It is a thick fan-shaped muscle situated at the chest of the human body. The second is bicep. It is a large muscle that lies on the front of the upper arm. It is a large muscle that lies on the front of the upper arm between the shoulder and elbow. Its function is flexes and twists the forearm. It flexes and twists the forearm. It flexes and twists the forearm. The third muscle is abdominal muscles. abdominal muscles. Those are our 6 packs and 8 packs. Those support the trunk, allow movement, and hold abdominal organs. The 4th one is Sartorius. Sartorius, Sartorius, Sartorius. It is a long, thin, superficial muscle. It is a long, thin, superficial muscle that runs down the length of thigh. That runs down the length of thigh. This muscle helps to cross the legs. This muscle helps to cross the legs. The 5th muscle is thigh adductors. Thigh adductors. 𝐻𝐵HADDUCTORS. Thigh adductors. It is located on the medial side of thigh. It is located on the medial side of thigh. And pull the legs together when they contract. The 6th muscle is trapezius. 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 It is a diamond-shaped quadrilateral muscle. It is a diamond-shaped quadrilateral muscle. It helps to support the weight of arm. It helps to support the weight of arm and move the shoulder The 7th muscle is deltoid. Deltoid. The location of trapezius is on shoulder and back side of his scapula. The next muscle is deltoid. It forms the rounded counter of the human shoulder. It forms the rounded counter of human shoulder. It is a prime mover of arm. It is a prime mover of arm. Deltoid is the prime mover of arm. The 8th muscle is latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi. LATISSIMUS. Latissimus dorsi. DORSI. It is responsible for extension. It is responsible for extension, adduction, and internal rotation of the shoulder. It is responsible for extension, adduction, and internal rotation of shoulder. Its location is downside, means posterior and inferior of scapula. The next muscle is serratus anterior. Serratus anterior. Serratus anterior location is below the chest, below the pectoralis. So serratus anterior acts to pull the scapula forward around the thorax. It acts to pull the scapula forward around the thorax. The 10th muscle is external oblique. External oblique. External oblique, that is our side oblique, both side in abdominal region. So function of external oblique is to pull the chest downwards and compress the abdominal cavity. Pull the chest downward and compress the abdominal cavity. It also performs side bending and rotation. It also performs the side bending and rotation. The 11th muscle is bronchioradialis. 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 It covers the radius bone. It covers the radius bone. It flexes the forearm and the elbow. It flexes the forearm and elbow. It flexes the forearm and elbow. The next muscle is finger extensions. FINGER, finger extension. EXTENSIONS, finger extensions. It includes 9 extensor muscles. It includes 9 extensor muscles found in the posterior side of the forearm. Posterior side of forearm. Finger extensor muscle. It found posterior side of the forearm and extend the hand and fingers. It extend the hand and fingers. Finger flexors. FINGER, finger flexors. FLEXORS. It helps you to close your hands. It helps you. Finger flexors present anterior side. It helps you to close your hand. The next muscle is quadriceps. Next muscle, quadriceps. It is a large muscle group on the front of the thigh. Quadriceps, it is a large muscle group on the front of thigh, and these are the great extensor muscle. These are the great extensor muscle of the knee. These are the great extensor muscle of the knee. Next muscle is hamstrings. The hamstrings cross and acts upon two joints. The hamstring cross and acts upon two joints, the hip and knee joint. It is one of the three posterior thigh muscles. It is one of the three posterior thigh muscles, means backside of thigh, in between hip and knee. The next muscle is gastrocnemius. Gastro, gastrocnemius. CNEMIUS, gastrocnemius. It forms half of the calf muscle. It forms half of the calf muscle. Its function is flexing foot at the ankle joint. Its function is flexing foot at ankle joint and flexes the leg at knee joint. It is the function of gastrocnemius. GASTROCNEMIUS. And the next muscle is tibialis anterior. Tibialis anterior. TIBIALIS. Tibialis anterior. ANTERIOR. The tibialis anterior is responsible for flexing the foot backward. Tibialis anterior, tibialis that covers tibia bone. Tibialis anterior it covers tibia bone down at down portion of leg, and it is responsible for flexing the foot backward and inverting the foot. It is responsible for flexing the foot backward and inverting the foot. The next muscle is soleus, SOLEUS. It runs from just below the knee to the heel. It runs from just below the knee to the heel. It covers the fibula bone and is involved in standing and walking. The next muscle is infraspinatus, INFRA, infraspinatus, SPINATUS, infraspinatus. It is one of the four muscles of the rotator cuff. Here, it is one of the four muscles of the rotator cuff. It is one of the four muscles of rotator cuff. Its main function is to rotate the humerus. Its main function is to rotate the humerus, that is our upper arm bone, and stabilize the shoulder joint. The 20 number muscle is teres major, just below the infraspinatus. It helps to rotate the humerus. It helps to rotate the humerus and assists the latissimus dorsi, this muscle, and assist the latissimus dorsi in drawing and previously raised humerus. In drawing and previously raised humerus downward and backward. The next muscle is triceps. Triceps. It is a large muscle on the back of the upper arm. It is a large muscle on the back of the upper arm. It is responsible for straightening the arm. It is responsible for straightening the arm. The next muscle is gluteus medius. It helps in hip movement. It helps in hip movement and stabilize pelvis In particular, when you perform a single leg balance. In particular, when you perform a single leg balance. The next muscle is gluteus maximus. Gluteus maximus, Gluteus, gluteus maximus. MAXIMUS. It is the main extensor muscle of the hip. It is the main extensor muscle of the hip. We use this muscle when we stand up from a chair. When we stand up from a chair, sprint run and go up steps. And the last important muscle is iliotibial band. In short, IT band, ILIO, iliotibial, TIBIAL, iliotibial band, BAND. Outer side of thigh. The iliotibial band is one of the hip abductor muscles. Iliotibial band is one of the hip abductor muscles. It moves the hip away from the midline. It moves the hip away from the midline. So this was all about muscular system. I hope you understood this session and enjoyed this class. And now I am going to close the class. So sit in any comfortable position, spine straight, adopt chin mudra, eyes closed. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, inhale, exhale, inhale for one time Om followed by closing mantra. Om. Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om. Santi, Santi, Santi. Join your both palm together in front of heart center. Go down your head towards God, towards Mother Nature. Rub your both palms. Apply an eyes. Slowly and gently while blinking, open your eyes. Om Shanti. Thank you for joining the class. Namaste.
क्यों भाई, क्यों नहीं रिकॉर्ड हुआ? ये रिकॉर्ड ही नहीं हुआ।